Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM, and this is a completely new tooled release which was long expected for this year. As you can see, that's a Humvee vehicle, and we get the first version. It's M1097A2, but there will be more, of course, and this is an interesting take on the famous US vehicle, and in my opinion it also offers you a chance to build something based on the new technologies plastic, because all existing kits are relatively old. And what I have here is actually the commercial sample, so it means you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and it should be already available. You can get it in Modeli Max, for example. So first of all, we have quite nice box art. The kit number is 35435, and here you can see comparison with my hand, and for me it was surprisingly small box, so as you can see it's thin. Here we also have some information about the kit, and it's written that there are 156 parts, and assembled model will be only 138 millimeters long. And here on the opposite side you can see also two marking options which are included into this kit, but obviously you are not limited by this choice because, well, if you have a reference material you can do whatever you would like to, and I think it should be relatively easy to copy something different. And as for the modern US vehicles, it looks like ICM is quite serious about copying various stuff. We've seen also the Cobra helicopter, and now we have this Humvee, so it will be very interesting to see what will come next. And in case you are interested in Cobra, so you can find a video review on YouTube channel which you are watching at the moment, and I really recommend to check it because it was quite a nicely detailed kit, and you get a lot of stuff out of the box and you don't have to pay anything extra for that. So as you can see, the box structure here is quite typical for ICM. We have this flexible top section, and then we have a sturdy white cardboard box which should actually protect all of the parts. And usually, well, in my experience, all parts arrive intact and there are no major issues whatsoever. And as you can see, all of the frames are packed into one plastic bag. It's a resealable plastic bag, so it should be quite quick and easy to open. So just give me a moment and we will take a closer look together. So, in the meantime, I can also say that I haven't had a chance to check the Tamiya kit, which is usually used for Humvee in 148 and 135 scale, as far as I remember. I think also Trumpeter has their version of this vehicle, but this is also something what I haven't touched in person. So here we start with a clear frame. As you can see, we have the windscreen and lens for the headlamps, and the molding quality is good, and usually ICM includes the masking templates into their kits, so I really hope that this will not be an exclusion from the rule. And next we continue with the gray plastic sprue. So the here we have pair of the frames, and this is the sprue D. So here we have the mix of the parts. As you can see, we have parts for the front seats, also we have the subframes for the suspension. Here we have also the wheel rims and for example suspension springs, and also some parts for the external features. Molding quality looks fine, and maybe I can zoom in even closer so that you can take a closer look at those parts. And if we flip over this sprue, so here you can see we have guiding pins in all necessary spots, and it looks like those shock absorbers, they will have to be assembled out of two halves, and we have the guiding pins inside. So it's, I would say, okay design, and it should be also working fine with 135 scale. Okay, next we continue with a bigger sprue. So here I think it's worth zooming out first so that you can see what we are getting overall. So this is the frame A, and here as you can see we have the main chassis which is molded as a one-piece part, which is really cool because it means that you don't have to worry about any issues with alignment or anything else, because you get the right fitment out of the box. And the same can be said about this windscreen frame. As you can see, it is molded together with the side or rear view mirrors stands, and the mirrors should be installed separately, but still it's quite an interesting design, which also has a place to be because I think it will simplify the assembly. And of course we can zoom in like this so that you can check this subframe, and as you can see it has a nice shaping, and also attachment points are quite thin, so I don't think it will be quite a procedure to separate this part. Here we continue also with the mud guards and some various external elements. And the same can be said about this front windscreen frame and also the firewall. So in my opinion, this is an interesting design, and the only thing where you have to be careful is this top section. As you can see here, we have attachment points a bit going thick, so be sure to use the sharp knife for that. And here we also have some external panels. So for example, these are the side fenders for the frontal section, so it means that you won't be able to open the bonnet as far as you can see, which is rather strange because I can also notice there is an engine included. So in case you would like to have an open bonnet version, you will have to modify it a bit. And here is the rear wall for the external panel. As you can see, it is molded together with the tail lights, which is also quite something what I was not expecting here, because well, for me it was more making sense to replicate the tail lights with the clear parts, but maybe here it also works this way as well. But of course, feel free to write your opinion about this in the comment section, because I'm usually happy to hear what you think about such design. We continue with another plastic bag. So here we have the vinyl tires. Camera is focusing now. You should be able to see what I'm talking about. So these are typical vinyl tires from ICM. I wouldn't say they're bad. As you can see, we have a really nice tire pattern, but we don't have any details on the tire walls. So for maybe out of the box build, it is okay. But in case you would like to have a weight effect on these parts, or maybe even the damaged wheels, then you have to go for resin. And I have no doubt that you'll find something for Hummer, and even maybe alternatives for different plastic kits. They can be used as well, I mean, in terms of the aftermarket. Next we continue with the parts for the rear bed. This is this large panel or platform, and also we have the parts for this bonnet and also engine and this side panels. So for the side panels, I am not sure why we have the double seater here, as you can see, or two-row vehicle. So maybe it will have to be modified. Maybe it was supplied on the previous sprue, but I don't see it. So we will have to check how it gets assembled in terms of the single row vehicle. Also here you can see the dashboard and some parts for the engine bay. That's the engine block and the gearbox. So maybe we can zoom into this area so that you can see this engine. So overall I think it is okay, but as I said, due to the design of the bonnet, which you can see here, I really doubt that it will be possible to open the model bonnet. So you have to check the let's say real references in order to see how those panels are distributed. Here you can see the one-piece rear bed, and here we have another side panel and the dashboard, as I said before. So overall it looks fine. We even have nice pictures from the opposite side as well, so it's not like the part is plain because it's not visible from the opposite side. ICM did nice work here, but the question remains how to make this single row vehicle. So we'll have to check the assembly manual. And the last gray plastic sprue is the Sprues C. So here you can see the mix of parts, I would say. So a lot of thin and small parts, actually, because we have the suspension elements here, drivetrain parts, and some of the control bits. Even the front mask is here. And I would say it's interesting that it is molded actually separately from the front bonnet one-piece section. Here you can see also the wheel axles, and obviously all of those suspension parts, they're not movable, they are fixed in one position, so you won't be able to change much. But in my opinion, this is not an issue, and in case you need to adapt the suspension for some diorama ideas, then you can just cut it off a bit and modify the plastic itself. So it's doable, but it will require a bit of extra work. Next we continue with the decals, and I already see how the one row vehicle will be done. Actually, I didn't know that it's actually working this way on Hummer pickup. But first let me show you the decals which are hidden in the assembly manual. So here they are. As you can see, those decals are looking good. We have a lot of stencils and we have a lot of interior decals, what might be handy for some additional features, and in case you plan to let's say show a bit more inside the Humvee, then it's definitely a necessary thing to have. Now I'm closing the lenses a bit so that you can see the assembly manual. So this one is printed in color. It's a large brochure. Here we have short history note and also some technical specifications. And maybe I will zoom out even more. So on the next page we have the parts map here. So overall, it looks like that all of the parts will be used in the assembly, so be sure not to break or lose anything because we don't have any spare parts. And assembly process starts with the main frame. So as you can see, all parts of the car frame and chassis, except marked separately, they should be assembled and painted separately, I guess. I'm not sure why it is written here. Nevertheless, so we start with the one-piece main chassis bar, and then we continue with an engine. So as I said, the engine is relatively nice, detailed, and I'm not sure why it was decided to actually enclose it inside the bonnet. Maybe just so that the lower portion will be visible. As you can see, we also have the exhaust installed, we have the wheel subframes, and also the suspension parts. Next, on the next steps here, you can see the shocks being installed. We have the front and rear bumper. We have the radiator fan and also the wheels being assembled here. Then we have some assembly options where you will have to choose what and how you will paint. And also some parts choice will depend on this. Next, we continue also with a separate decals application guide for the dashboard, and then you assemble the air filter which will be installed also on the front wall. And again, the same, I would say, question, why all of this stuff is going inside. As you can see, we are getting some interior bits, and also we are installing a lot of things on the let's say firewall of the interior, but at the same time we will have the shut bonnet, so it will be interesting to modify the vehicle in order to show all of these pieces. And then somehow the assembly process jumps to the side panels and rear bed. As you can see, it's a matter of installing these panels which were aimed for the double-seater, and just to give you a hint, it is actually the matter of installing these plain panels here on the second row. That's how the pickup is made, as far as you can see. So maybe we'll check it on the next page. Yeah, here you can see what is being done here and there. And overall, the bonnet is being installed here. So it's one piece assembly. We have locks pre-molded, and maybe if you cut it somehow in this area, maybe it will be possible to separate these parts, but it will require some additional work. We install also the rear bar and the rear bed wall, and then we have the first marking option here and the second marking option here. So overall, it looks like a decent kit which is made with use of the modern technologies, and you can see it with the amount of the details which are pre-molded and supplied out of the box. Of course, I'll make a bit more detailed photos in the review article which we will publish on the website, and you can find the review link in the video description. It will be published a bit later after this video. And overall, I would be happy to hear your opinion about this release of this Humvee vehicle, so be sure to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.